Alright, it is time for the giveaway result. For those of you who missed it, the channel did a community appreciation giveaway to a commenter, and we will reveal the winner in just a moment. But so you know, the items won are a 2950 IAE starter game package and a complete gear collection. The winner can keep the swag or use it to upgrade their ship, whatever works best for them. Before we get to recognizing the official winner, I'd like to take a moment to discuss why I haven't released some solo guides yet, why I haven't been releasing Star Citizen content yet, specifically 3.17 gameplay and tips. Which is simply because I am one of the many in the first wave of the PTU for 3.17 testing that simply can't or hasn't been able to stay logged in long enough to really test refining. The first implementation of the dynamic economy, selling off my loot. Oh yeah, I'm on pins and needles to get into this with you. Today, we will talk about the diversification of refining as a mechanic in Star Citizen. And that should be a nice and juicy discussion for us in the meantime. But first, let's give the winner of the Jumpstart Community Appreciation Giveaway a shout out, and we are going to talk about that right now. I am so excited to announce that commenter Joe McInnes has won the giveaway. Thank you all so much for your support. Joe, as the rules outlined, you need to email me at thefriedindustry@gmail.com to claim your prize. Will the winner of this awesome community's first giveaway choose to keep the prizes as is or received? Or will they choose to use the gear collection to upgrade the game package? If they feel inclined, they can let us all know in the comments down low. Of course, if the winner asks for privacy on their choice, I will maintain that privacy, no questions asked. Let's read the winning comment and get to the refining diversification discussion. Make sure you stick around for that. Joe said, "Seeing the concept for the Drake Vulture is what got me into Star Citizen. I can't wait for 3.18 to drop so I can finally jump into the pilot seat. Thanks for the time you put into the vids." Very nice comment. You are my first viewers, and the best way that you can stay connected to my tiny channel is to share your experiences so I know that what I am focusing on has people out there that are interested. Now then, getting to the MISC Expanse and some thoughts I'd like to chat with you about in reference to refining, I want to give you some context first. Of course, I sprinkle some lame dad jokes in later on. That seemed to do well last time. So far, I have stayed committed to being very specific when discussing the SC project. That is, this video format tries to separate discussions on current information and what is available now, followed by relevant, supporting speculation on the project later on down the road. This seems to help keep things organized and reduce friction with the community we are building here. This community is focused on you, individually, what you can accomplish, and sharing your tricks with the community of folks that do their own thing. We will get into that more in a moment. For now, the MISC Expanse signals, to me at least, the expansion of refining as a mechanic or game loop or experience later down the line. The way I see it, there will be at least 3 different types of refining in the future. So what do we know to support this? First, we have the Starfarer and its refining process. CIG decided to niche down on that not too long ago and change some of its scope. Regardless of the polarization on whether it was the right decision, this is Chris Roberts' dream, not ours in the end. Meaning that the Starfarer as it stands will have its own type of refining process for fuel. Second, we have the MISC Expanse. Word in the verse is that the Expanse will be the entry point for mineral refining as a profession, at least for the time being. Before you slam me on the nitty-gritty, the word I used is an entry point into the profession, not startership, not premium startership, no. In case you want to know where I stand on what I consider to be a startership, we can get into that shortly if you stick around. But let's get to the third type of refining I would like to bring your laser gaze to, because I think it's worth it. For the third type of refining, I'd like to bring your attention to base building. If you have played any other games that have base building, it is common to see some titles have resource nodes that you can place a miner unit or a facility on in order to harvest a resource over time. Good examples of what I mean would be the resource nodes in Satisfactory, or Empyrean Galactic Survival, Dyson Sphere Program, or even Fallout 76. Speaking of Fallout 76, you have to actually claim the patch of land you want to set shop up on, and potentially gather resources to funnel into your production or market strategies. Also, one doesn't really have to search far for a Star Citizen specific example of this either. If you have or have not, either way, seen any of the work that the Astro Chronicles YouTube channel makes for the community, I'd like to direct you to a specific video for this. Check it out after you finish watching this video. That channel does amazing work. You can find the appropriate link in the description down low. And you really should check out the video, because in it, you get to see a basic example that the community has already come up with for a rough idea that the imagination can take off with. I hope that we can all agree that placing any type of automated production facility that refines fuel, harvests fuel, or both will probably have some sort of CIG dusted kiosk with a mini game loop. Maybe you have to return every so often to work with said equipment, whatever that may look like. Before I go too far down the rabbit hole with speculation, I'd like to remind you to go check out that video in the link in the description down below later on. It demonstrates such a device, because I have really been wanting to talk about this with you for a while. Now that you have an idea, what do you think of my thoughts on the diversification and expansion I'm seeing signals for when it comes to refining? What other types of independent variations of refining can you think of? Alrighty, moving on to the two topics I promised we could digress on later. To answer the Star Citizen question first on what I consider to be a starter package, I would say that anything at $60 US or less would be the traditional OG Iron Guard perspective I would have. If a deeper discussion were to be had on this topic, I would first ask that you boop that like button. It is free, and really does let me know that you enjoy these speculative portions where I get a little more risky. I'm trying to dip my toes out of the immediately tangible topics so that we can have some discussion now. Seriously though, on the sneak, for those of you still watching, I could easily be convinced by the right individual with grounded goals, I would say. Anything up to about $100 US could be considered a starter, or maybe a premium starter as CIG tried to coin with the Nomad, at the very least. For a couple of reasons I could see this logic being solid. First, let's face it, the next real choice up from an Avenger would be either a Nomad, a Cutlass Black, or a Freelancer, depending on your preference and goals. Second, when you consider that other games with flight models or ones that have simulation components built in, the entry point and equipment alone is higher than a typical AAA title. Still, I made a commitment to put you first and never tell you what to do with your money, so defining what I consider as a starter package is as far as we will go for now on that topic. Speaking of you and commitments, you should know that this community is focused on you individually, what you can accomplish, and sharing your tricks with a community of folks that do their own thing. This was the other digression I promised to get back to, and I want you to know that I take it seriously. If you like that I put you first, or that I am committed to only uploading content that I think puts your time first, maybe subscribe if you think I earned it. I have other content on the channel, so be sure to check that out, because if you are still here, between you and I have sacrificed an incredible amount of my focus and efforts to bring you the best one-man show that I can, for much longer than the start of these uploads really reveal. Just this week alone, I have a huge conference, regular business ops, videos, and a remodeling contractor a few feet away, and I am still sticking it through, even when the epoxy smell starts to smoothen my brain. Stay fresh, play how you want, how you can, be sure to check out my channel to get more value, and, most importantly, stay you. See you in the verse.